Hi, I'm Perri Chase, and today's video is about getting out of that tornado of starting your day on the wrong foot. So we've all done it. We've all started the day and something tips off wrong. Like something tips our direction off wrong. Some people call it getting up on the wrong side of the bed. But really what happens is we end up reacting to something. And whether or not we're carrying that over from the previous day, like a mood or a fear or a resentment, or something happens first thing in the morning. Maybe you get an email from your boss that something's late or something's about to change, or you get bad news, or you just have a string of mishaps like spilling your coffee on your clothing and needing to go home to change, and you're already running late, and then you're going to have to tell a client that you're coming in late and that you're not going to make the meeting, and then there's traffic and blah, 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 and there are all of these things that happen. And it feels like you just can't win in that moment. So here's the thing. When you get into a reactionary cycle and you continue in that reactionary cycle, it's almost like an avalanche, meaning every action that you take in reaction to something else where you are trying to manage it or fix it or do something where you are really struggling to repair what's going on, you are going to end up in a bigger mess than when you started. And that sounds like opposite of what you would think, right? Well, if I'm working really hard to fix things, things should get better. Wrong. What you actually need to do when everything feels like a tornado is to stop. Fully stop. Literally do nothing. Nothing for at least 15 minutes. And I really recommend a meditation. For instance, you can download my heart meditation, which is a way for you to quiet your internal state. So that way you can get back to an external state, which is a reflection. For me, I know that when the world feels crazy, it's a reflection of my internal state. It's not the world. It's a reflection of my insides. It's a reflection of that I'm needing to slow down and that I need to calm down and that I need to relax and open to the fact that everything is actually okay. The more that I try to fix and manage, I get controlling, right? If I'm trying to help or fix something that seems out of control, then I have to get controlling. And in order to get controlling, I have to grip tighter. And whenever we have to grip tighter, we actually send more momentum in the direction of things going out of control. And so it's really important to just remember to sit and relax and open. And so what do you do in that moment? You've got a lot of fear. Your mind is racing. Your mind is saying, we don't have time to sit. We don't have time to meditate. We're already really behind today. We don't have time. You do. So that is the mind telling you and putting pressure on you and having you feel scarce, that you don't have the time to like sit and calm and feel the space that's available. And so the mind in that situation will also try to tell you all kinds of things. And it might shame you, and it might tell you that, you know, you're terrible and you made this mistake and how wrong you are, and like you should feel ashamed of yourself, and like you can't do anything right, or lots of other messages that the mind likes to tell us. But The other thing you have to notice is if you find yourself in the middle of a tornado where you're constantly reacting to things, the other question is, are you accustomed to using that kind of pressure as your fuel? What does that mean? So when you're frantic and you're panicked and you have a lot of fear, that can really move you. It can move you, and it might be really messy, but it might be the only way that you know how to operate. And so there's a practice of getting back to center and calming down and putting the fears away so that you can then operate from a conscious, mindful, purposeful place where the decisions that you're making are not in reaction to fear or need for personal validation or fear that you are going to get fired or there's not going to be enough or you're going to lose that client or whatever it is. Because I guarantee you, if you continue acting from fear and you continue to react, I guarantee you all of your fears will come true. Because really what you're doing is you are riding a train of sabotage. That tornado that you're feeling in the world is just your internal state. So this is not hopeless. This is just a practice. And anytime you find yourself in reaction, the practice is to stop. It is to literally say, I am not going to make any further decisions or actions from this frantic place of panic and fear. I'll give you a really good story. It happened to me over the weekend, and it fits perfectly for this. So we're on this hike, this really big hike. It was a beautiful day. I love hiking. We hike, 5 mornings a week now. And we were just almost up to this peak that we had seen and said, oh, we really want to go there. And out of nowhere, this beetle, like this big, ugly, black and red beetle, okay, was in my hair and on my shoulders. And I hate bugs, hate bugs. And they creep me out, and I'm just really not good with bugs, okay? But truthfully, the bug really could not have hurt me. It just creeped me out, and basically, I reacted to this bug with every single thing I know about bugs from my whole life and all of my fears and beliefs and everything for this bug, and I freaked out. And when I freaked out, I tripped and I fell and I hurt myself. And so, people will say, oh my God, the beetle, it's all the beetle's fault. It's not the beetle's fault. I hurt myself and ended up crashing into the rocks because I reacted to my fear. I didn't react to the beetle. I had a fear, and then I let my fear drive me to the fact that it ended up being a lot worse than if the beetle had just been in my hair. So that's a really good example of what happens when we react to our fears. And was my fear even real? No, it's just a beetle, and it wasn't going to do anything to me. I mean, worst case, it freaked me out, which obviously ended up poorly for me because I reacted and then I fell. But if I had just been like, oh, there's a beetle in my hair, let me get it off, or I could have asked my husband, hey, can you help me with this beetle? Then I wouldn't have had to freak out and then trip and fall and hurt myself. So if you can use that as an example to have you think about, how many times in your life have you, have things gone wrong because you were frantic, because you weren't present, because you were in a state of fear and panic and reaction? And I will guess that almost every time it's a sabotaging behavior. Sure, there are tragic things that happen in life, absolutely, and we can't control everything. But the things that are within your control, it is absolutely within your control to slow down, take a moment, open, and then act in a purposeful way. Have a great day.